The meeting invite didn't feel unusual. Quarterly board review. Same glass-walled room. Same polished table that reflected faces like a subtle reminder that everything here was about perception. She arrived early out of habit, laptop tucked under her arm, coffee already half finished. Her stepfather was standing near the screen, hands clasped, posture unusually formal. Her mother sat 2 seats away. That was the first deviation. Normally, she avoided these sessions. Too operational, she'd say, a polite distancing from details she once claimed to care deeply about. Today, though, she was there, quiet, unreadable. Something tightened in the narrator's chest, though she couldn't have explained why. The room filled. Chairs slid. Casual murmurs faded. Then her stepfather cleared his throat. No warm-up. No financial overview. No performance metrics. Just a sentence delivered with corporate precision. Your mother has finalized the sale of the company. The words hovered for a moment, strangely weightless. Sale. Not partnership. Not restructuring. Sale, he continued before reactions could fully form. As part of the transition, your role has been terminated. There it was. Not anger, not conflict. Termination. Language designed to remove emotion. Across the table, someone shifted in their chair. Another avoided eye contact, the small social choreography of discomfort. She turned toward her mother. Nothing. No apology. No visible regret. No reassurance. Just stillness. And in that stillness, something older surfaced, a pattern she hadn't fully named until now. Support when useful. Distance when inconvenient. Affection braided with expectation. The realization didn't erupt. It settled. Slow, heavy. Clarifying. Transactional. Her stepfather kept speaking, outlining timelines, transition procedures, phrases like mutually beneficial direction. Floating through the air with rehearsed neutrality. She listened. But not to him. To memory, late nights refining prototypes. Arguments over design philosophy. Her mother's voice years earlier, this will be yours one day. Not a promise, she now understood. A projection. Ownership contingent on alignment. Belonging contingent on usefulness. She felt the strange urge to laugh, not from amusement, but from the quiet absurdity of clarity arriving so late. Instead, she smiled. It was a small thing, barely noticeable. Yet it fractured the rhythm of the room. Her stepfather hesitated. As something funny, she leaned back slightly, fingers resting lightly on the table. No. Silence stretched. Then gently. Good luck making products without my patents. The room didn't explode, it froze. The shift was immediate, visceral, unmistakable. Her stepfather's expression changed first, confidence collapsing not into rage but calculation. Rapid, silent math behind the eyes. Because everyone in that room understood what he had momentarily forgotten. Ownership of a company is not ownership of its intellectual foundation, and legal structures are immune to family narratives. A board member spoke cautiously. The patents are personally held. She nodded. Always were. No drama, no edge, just fact, the kind that rearranges power without raising its voice. Her mother finally moved. A slight turn of the head, a narrowing of the eyes, something between surprise and something harder to identify. Not betrayal, recognition, as if she, too, were recalibrating a reality she had assumed would remain comfortably abstract. Her stepfather recovered his posture, though the room could feel the strain beneath it. We can negotiate licensing. Of course. The answer came easily. Professional. Distant. Because negotiation requires emotional investment, and something fundamental had already shifted. 2. Afterward, the hallway felt unusually long, muted office sounds. Phones ringing somewhere behind closed doors. The ordinary machinery of business continuing, indifferent to personal earthquakes. Her mother caught up with her near the elevators. For a moment, neither spoke. Up close, the narrator noticed details she had long trained herself not to see. Fatigue at the corners of her mother's eyes, tension carried quietly in the jaw. Human details. Complicating details. You could have told me, she said finally. Her mother's gaze flickered, briefly defensive, briefly uncertain. It was complicated.
Yes.
The narrator replied softly. It usually is. Another silence. "I didn't think you'd." She waited. "React like this." The narrator almost smiled again, not from satisfaction, from irony, because this wasn't reaction, this was adjustment. "I'm not angry." It was true. Anger requires a sense of violated expectation. And expectation had quietly dissolved somewhere between the boardroom and the driveway of her memory. "I just understand now." Her mother looked at her then, really looked, as if searching for something familiar and not quite finding it. Understanding, she was learning, can feel indistinguishable from distance. Outside, the city moved with its usual indifference. Traffic lights changing, pedestrians crossing, lives unfolding untouched by corporate transitions or family restructurings. She stood there for a moment, absorbing the strange lightness that followed clarity, not victory, not loss, something less dramatic, more permanent, release. Belonging, she realized, had never truly been tied to the building behind her. Only her belief in it had been. And beliefs, once examined too closely, have a habit of quietly disassembling. Her phone buzzed. An email from legal. Licensing inquiries already beginning. Structures adapting. Systems recalibrating. Life continuing. She slipped the phone back into her pocket and walked, not away from something, but forward into a space that, for the first time, felt entirely unclaimed, entirely her own, without ceremony, without audience, without the exhausting requirement of being useful enough to stay.